Welcome to Horse Racing Plus. I'm Alan, your host. We're looking at Churchill Downs today. Big weekend of racing. They're not racing in New York. They're going to go to Saratoga for the Belmont Stakes next weekend. But we have a good card today, and I see something very interesting in the first race. And I'll talk about that right now. Okay, let me bring this up. I see the 4 is taking money at 9-5, Tetiora, and I just don't see this horse as fast enough. I know it's Irad Ortiz. I see the 1 as the main option, and 3, outrageously, is at 6-1. I see that as my second choice. So how do we work this? We have 13 minutes to post. You know, I see it's between 1 and 3. They're the fastest too. And 6 is going to have early speed. 'Tis the sight. And that might hurt 1 somewhat. And 7, Bryland, open 5-2, currently 7-2, gets Flavian Pratt, but by the speed figures, looks too slow. So what do you do with this first race? There are 9 races today. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. We made it to the weekend. And we're getting good weather, at least here in the Northeast. Churchill, I'm not sure what the weather is there, but I don't see anything listed as sloppy or off the turf. Now, the question here remains this. I'm dead red with 1 or 3. I don't like the 4, who's 9-5. Now, can I narrow something down in that second race? Now, I have the Thorograph. You know me. I use the Thorograph sheets. Let me bring them up. Okay. Let me bring them up here for this second race, because I'm going to go 1-3 in a double here, and I'm going to try and bring something home. Bring up the Thorograph. Okay. Okay, we got them. Okay. I always use top-notch data, Thorograph and Brisnet. You know, let me enlarge this. And let me go to the second race pace figures. You know, what is that race going to consist of? You know, for a double. Okay, it's 1 1/8 on dirt. And you see 1 and 4 do have the pace charts here. And 1 and 4 do come out of the same last race, which is very interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go to race 2, and let's look at the speed figures. 1 has a very big fast number, Brad Cox, Flavian Pratt. Pratt, only 12% at Churchill Downs. You know, 1 and 4, 4 is nice, but 1 has the advantage. 6, first-time starter for Joe Sharp with Jose Ortiz out of Tacitus. Only in the money 32% of the time, first time out. So I don't like that. 7, I'm looking at 1 and 4 as the 2 choices. Let me look at this. Let me see what this fucking thing is paying. 1 and 3 with 1-4. One with one is only 5-1, and one with yeah, they're all going to be on the one. So, what do we do with this race? One is a 2-1 shot. I do like the 3 at 5-1. He's 9-2. Practical joke, outrageously. But I see one as the winner of this race. Do you hang on and look for something down the road? That's the question here. Lady Law, race 2, number 7. Keeps getting better. Runs second, third, 3 seconds and a third in the last 4 races. Brett Calhoun. And you have the Joe Sharp horse. Magic Woman, number 4. Is there something to play here? Race 1 here, Churchill Downs on Friday. Beaumont Stakes next week. Let me look at the place and, let me look at the tote board. Win, place, show. Yeah, the 4 is taking all the money in the place. So is the 7. I think outrageously, number 3 is a nice show place bet right now. Let me look at this. Let me look closer at the 3 here in this race. I mean, Edgar Morales, practical joke. One's going to be tough. One's going to be tough. 4's going to be tough. Has raced well here at Churchill Downs. Ran in a G2. Did shit in that race. Got eased. Let me look at the pace. Race 1. Race, the 3 horse ran poorly last race. Now, here's what I'm going to do here. Okay. I'll do this. Let me just look at the minutes to post. 4 minutes. I'm going to go 20 on number 3 to place. outrageously. I like how he runs at this track. I like that he gets his jockey back. He's 6-1. All right, let's put this out here. Let's put it out here right now. Race one, 20 on three to place. I got my back up. It's back up against the wall in a way. I like this horse's chances. I like his speed figures. I like his third graph. I'm using the third graph. You see it here, all this shit. And, we're going to go after a place. We don't need to win. The horse is quick enough to track the pace. I think we have some early pace between the 1 and the 6. And the 4 is going to be dangerous. It's, 4 has run well here before and gets Irad Ortiz. So, of course, that horse is taking money. And then there's another horse in here, too, who is, 1-3. I mean, they're the two fastest horses. 3 is just as fast as the 1. Tis the Sight, number 6, another early speed. So I think the 1 and the 6 might cancel each other out. I can certainly see the 7 slipping in there with Flavian Pratt. Has to improve, though. Doesn't have the numbers, not even as fast as the 4. The key here is to get the 3 in there, 1-2, and it looks like the 3 in there, 1-2, and get the 4 out of there. You know, and it's 6.5 furlongs. Marcio, hey Marcio, good luck today. Go get him. Yeah, I'm looking at the 3. Um, ran well here at this track. Really not taking money. Open 9-2, currently 6-1, but it don't have the connections. Jordan Blair, Edgar Morales, out of Practical Joke. You have other jockeys in here like Corey Linaria on the 1 and Rod on the 4 and Flavian Pratt on the 7. So of course these guys are going to be taking money. You know, I think that 3's going to make a good run. If he loses, he'll come in third. I'm hoping for him to come first, second. I think 1 is clearly the one to beat here. 4, the connections. 7, Pratt opens 5-2. They upgrade to Pratt, and then you have, of course, the trainer Brendan Walsh. All sorts of things going on. A lot of moving parts here. So let's get this. Let's get this day off. It's Friday. We made it. It's Friday. Let's get this off to a good start. We're not doing anything crazy. 20 on, the 3 to place. I feel good about that. I'm very confident. And a 3 is going up to 7-1. Holy cow! And 1 True Passion sitting at 2-1, and 4 Tetiora sitting at 9-5 with Jose Ortiz. 7 Bryland, Flavian Pratt for Brendan Walsh on a 7-2 shot, open 5-2. And I don't like the 7 at all. If that 7 comes in, I'll be totally shocked. I think it's going to be between 1, 3, and 4. and 1 and 6 are going to be fighting it out. So I'm hoping to get the 6 out of there or the 1 out of there and flip the 3 into second, and the 4 probably gets first or second. Going steady, number 5 didn't impress me. Neither did number 6, but 6 does have the big early speed, and that might disrupt the 1. We'll see. Good luck, everyone. Enjoy the race. Off to the races. Race 1, Churchill was on this Friday. And there goes the 6 as expected. One not showing speed. Interesting. The 3 laying back. We got some bombs up here up front. So let's see what happens. Tis in sight, leading the way, at 5-1. Here comes the 4. Here comes the 3. And the 1 is trailing. Very interesting. They're heading for home. Here comes my 3, 20 to place, and he wins the race. And number 5 comes in second at 12-1. So we have a winner here in the first race. Yes. All right. All right. We got this done here. Quick $20 place bet on number 3, 9-1. Got a 12-1 that came in second. Oh, I should have bet the horse to win, right? But we'll take the victory. Wow. Number 3, outrageously, open 9-2, opened and goes in, wins at 9-1, and we got a 12-1 finishing second. So we'll get a couple of bucks here back. Maybe we get 2-3-1 on this. Yeah, 3-5. 3-5, baby. All right. We'll be back in a bit. We'll check these prices. And 1 did come in third at 6-5. Got that all the way down. So we're in good shape. What's the unofficial? Hey, HXC, it is 3-5-1. 3-5-1. And we got this. And we got this, folks. And there he is. What the hell is this? Okay. 20 to place on 3. And the horse won. And, we got the place bet. So we'll be back in a bit and on to the next race. All right.